first half, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! By Tennessee, Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back is Sayre. And Tennessee can say hello, win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now. McGrath for the win. He got it. If you don't like college football and you watch this one, I'm not sure what your problem is.
Reddit did to do, and welcome into More Important Issues. It is Sunday, August 11th. We're inching closer to football season. Not only is fall camp underway, you also had some scrimmages. So you're not playing the bad guys yet, but you're playing a little bit, and that makes it more fun. You get the coaches talking a little bit, and Landon, I'm even more fired up because my boy Deshaun Bishop got a special little shout out from the head man himself. So
yeah,
as the president of the Deshaun Bishop Club, we do accept that recognition, Josh Eipel. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. So, is that going to start off your bold prediction that Deshaun Bishop's going to lead this team in rushing?
I don't have that prediction. I think he'll turn some heads though for non-Knoxville people.
Okay.
Knoxville people know who Deshaun Bishop is. They know Boobie Bishop.
Mm-hmm.
But some people outside of Knoxville don't. They're not exactly sure. Maybe some coastal folks know, but that's about it.
You're gonna learn today.
you gonna learn. No, I don't have that prediction. That would. I don't know if that'd be awesome because I want Dylan Sampson to have a year, but it would kind of be awesome too.
For sure. Yeah. Ready for it. There's 20 days. I just kind of was talking to the fam a little bit about the tailgate and what we're wanting to do, when we need to go to Sam's to get stuff for the first tailgate. So it just kind of got my blood flowing a little bit before the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you were going to drop a bold prediction. I was also hoping, do you have a song ready for us?
Yeah.
You're lucky I even got on tonight. You didn't respond or recognize that video at all.
I had to go watch it, and my God.
It kind of rocks, though, doesn't it?
It is kind of cool, but at the same time, I don't think I could be a fan of that particular team. Knowing that song is out there, yeah.
I think that makes I forget NFL fans like that exist because of the SEC bubble that we live in.
Mm-hmm.
Even there's some big Titans fans in the area. It doesn't exist like that in SEC country. Atlanta fans, they're just not. But when you go to Philly, when you go to, Oakland, when they had a team, my God, fights every weekend. When you go to Buffalo, Green Bay, fans like that exist.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't realize it because everybody here, they might have an NFL team, but they don't.
Yeah.
They're not writing songs for them, okay? And I think that should change.
I thought he was going to go what song is it based off of?
I can't remember now off the top of my head. We can give it a listen so everybody knows what we're talking about if you'd like.
I can.
It sucks because uploading on here just doesn't. I would love this show.
This is our coach. This is our team. We bleed blue. This is our coach. Whether win or lose, we love them. For the shoe, beat the Broncos. Let's show them who the real horse is. This is our team. Go Coles.
The nay is awesome, dude. It is so good. It's a worship song.
That's what I thought it was.
I'm gonna send it to it might be a Hillsong song. I'm gonna send it to my brothers.
Have them decipher it.
Yeah. And we'll get an update. So is that the equivalent of like, let me send this rap song to my black friend? Figure it out. Is that the equivalent of that? Let me send it to my pastor brother real quick and figure this one out.
Hey, you know this, right?
Yeah, come on.
You speak Chinese.
Off to a hot start tonight. I love it. Yeah, no, what was it? Show me who the real horse is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just fantastic artistry. And I love that guy. Immediate friend of the pod. He is welcome in any tailgate. He's welcome on here anytime to perform live. I implore him to write a Tennessee one. So we get DM probably once a year, and we haven't got one in a while. That's like, hey brother, I wrote this song for the Vols. Will you repost it?
Mm-hmm.
And I won't accept that one. I will if that is sent to us. That guy sends us one for Tennessee.
Yeah, I think we should probably. I don't know about the first game. That seems like a stretch, but definitely for the Alabama game, we do a collab with him and make up a song.
What's the Missouri one now? I can't remember.
We are Mizzou.
Yeah, that one.
So,
I guess
yeah.
Bigger collab. We get the class of 2013 from Alpharetta, Georgia. Him, and we do one for Tennessee.
Okay. Hey, why not throw Swiper Boy in there too?
Oh yeah, absolutely. featuring. I mean, this would break the internet.
Yeah, I think we just all have a whole rap song about Nico.
Okay,
and how he's going to lead Tennessee to victory over those horrible Alabama Crimson Tide.
I wish he had a name that was similar to a quarterback somewhere, so we could be like, show him who the real Nico is. Is there another? See the Tagovailoas are no longer. We could be like, show him who the real Hawaiian is, but we don't have that.
Yeah,
we'll just come up with something. Yeah.
Polynesian.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know. I can't pronounce his last name, and that's enough for me. So
our polys are better than your polys. I don't know if they have any, but if
we have any polys on the team,
yeah, Jackson Moy, Keenan Peely.
I knew Keenan Peely was
Jackson Moy. Yeah,
is he from Utah as well?
Somewhere out there.
Okay, interesting.
He went to Stanford, so he's.
I wonder if they hang out at that one club downtown that everybody talks about. That's for polys.
Wait, what?
Nothing.
Okay.
I hope somebody got that bit, but I digress. I guess let's jump right into the show. I can't talk. What's your bold prediction? I feel like I gave mine this week, and I don't know if I like it. I just never want to say it out loud. But what's yours?
I have a couple, but my number one. Tennessee is beating Alabama and Neyland again.
I don't know if that's that bold of a prediction.
I'm just sitting here like it's going to happen. There's no need to worry about it.
I like that.
No need.
Also
think here's maybe a bolder one. I think Ethan Davis has the best year from a Tennessee tight end in 10 years.
I think that's bold only because. Will he be as versatile as they used
Princeton Fant
2022?
So he's got to run.
I think receive. Yeah, he's got to run it, throw it, everything. I think receiving wise, I could see that happening for sure.
Yeah.
I think he's more versatile in the passing game. I would think he seems to be more athletic than what we've had. So I don't think it's far fetched. I don't think it's crazy, but I'm just curious. Yeah, I don't see that as a impossibility.
Okay,
I like that one.
I also have Dylan Sampson goes over 1,000 yards in his All SEC, and I think the reason he does it, yeah, he's really good, but I think there's going to be a special emphasis on running the football because we're still hearing that Tennessee is a what's it called?
I mean, just
air raid.
gimmicky, air raid, pass.
Yeah. I think there's going to be huge emphasis and like let's just freaking run it down their throats.
Well, and you have
inside zone all day long.
Dude, inside zone, bunch of RPOs.
Yeah.
Take what the defense gives you. I think Dylan Sampson's going to, stay healthy, and I think he has a really great year. And I think if Dylan Sampson has a really great year, that's a reflection of what the team does. If you can run the ball well, you can pass the ball well. That's just, you have to run the ball well to do so.
Just like on NCAA. Or
correct. You got to set up the run.
EA Sports College Football, sorry.
You got to set up the run, baby.
Forgive me.
Yeah. No, you're forgiven. Don't worry. The Dylan Sampson being over 1,000 yards is incredibly doable. It boils down to the factors we've talked about. And I think all of them are real possibilities, like the offensive line, just staying healthy. But also I think you have some guys come along because I think that's the good thing about a position group like the offensive line is, yes, the front five are your best five zeroed out, or the first five are your best five, no zeroed out. But they're veterans. They're going to be able to help the guys behind them along. And so I think it's not, we got a freshman here that's supposed to be really good. And so I think that's a big positive. I guess a bold prediction I had that I talked about this week, I'll start off here, is I think this receiving group as a whole not only has a better year, I think they're just much better than last season. And
there's 2022. I'm like, whoa.
I think there is, and this goes into my Nico prediction. I think they're as good. Maybe I can't say for even guess that there's going to be a Jalen Hyatt, a standout one on his own.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this group is better as a whole. I'm not trying to single anyone out, but if you look at a lot of the drops, they came from one guy in particular, and he's no longer on the roster. I think Squirrel White has a better year. Ronnie Feltz just said, who do you think will be the top receiver this year? In yardage, I think it's Squirrel White.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just have a hard time thinking it's not somebody in the slot.
Yeah.
Especially a guy who was your leading receiver last year in Squirrel White. It would be cool because I think Squirrel White's going to have a good year regardless. So I think it would be cool if somebody beats him out.
He's gonna have more chances to hit on the long ball.
Yeah,
a big part of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he even has a better year than last year, and he had 800 yards last year. I think Chris Brazzell is somebody I'm excited to see, but I'm also like kind of hold your horses kind of because of the Dante Thornton hype we got last year, where I'm just like, I'm going to pump the brakes a little bit on all these highlights I see in practice because, you just don't know until you know.
Well, and that's the thing, too, about Dante Thornton, talking about from last year to this year, is he looked a lot better towards the end of the year when he got on the outside.
Yeah.
Of course, things can change, but I like that he looks to be improved. He got injured towards the end of last year. But I think this receiver group, Brew McCoy is a big part of why I think they're going to be better than last year. So he's got to stay healthy, be healthy kind of towards the beginning. But yeah, I think this receiving group is better than last year. And I think it's similar to what I said about Nico on SEC Unfiltered. I think Nico's at minimum, I think you're looking at like 85% of what Hendon was in 2022.
Yeah.
I think he can produce at a really, really high level. I think he throws the ball much better overall. Kind of talking about that Ethan Davis, Princeton fan, like how versatile is he? I think Nico, his arm's a little more versatile. I think he throws a really, really good deep ball. I would argue better than Joe because it's more catchable, but obviously not as far.
Yeah.
But throws a really good deep ball. But he also throws outside the hashes really well. And this is going to sound crazy, but that's really important in a Josh Heupel offense. I know that sounds crazy because when you have receivers line up on the sidelines, that would blow your mind to find out that we're going to throw this ball outside the hashes. But it happens quite often, even if it's just a screen, which Hendon Hooker struggled just throwing those long screens, keeping them low, not throwing them into the ground.
Yeah, or throwing them way over a receiver's head.
Yeah, it was one or the other. It was over the head or at the feet very often. But I think Nico throws it outside the hashes really well. obviously haven't seen him run a ton of RPO, but just in terms of the composure and how he is patient and doesn't force things, I think he's probably going to run the RPO really well. So I think definitely more versatile. So I think this receiving group is poised to have a big year. That goes along with Nico, and I'll just drop, I guess, for the show what I said. And I don't think this is very far-fetched. I'm not saying Nico's going to win the Heisman. In his career, maybe this year, he will be in New York, I think.
Ooh.
This year will be tougher to do because of your team's got to win a bunch of games to be there. But at some point in his Tennessee career, I think he'll be a finalist.
Okay.
Hendon Hooker would have been had he not gotten injured. He would have been in New York.
Still should have been.
He probably still should have been, but he 100% would have been had he not gotten injured.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people do forget that when they talk about the Nico hype is that Josh Heupel's had a quarterback that already was on the cusp of being a finalist, barring an injury from the second to last game of the season.
Yeah. I mean, he probably had, if he plays against Vanderbilt, he has at least 200 more yards on top of that, probably 2 or 3 touchdowns, a couple more rushing touchdowns. It wasn't the rain, so I don't want to give him too much, but
right. I mean, just go look at Joe's stats, and you're probably getting that at minimum. I don't know what he threw for, but that's your minimum.
Yeah, we also ran for like 600 yards
yes.
in that game, so we
Which
really
is
didn't
awesome.
have to have a quarterback.
Which that's what was funny about going into the Orange Bowl. We're like, well, we still really haven't seen much of Joe because he didn't get to do anything against Vanderbilt because I'm so glad we didn't go to that game. That just looked like a miserable experience.
Yeah. It's cool you blew him out, but it would have been cool.
Oh, as a fan, miserable, not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just watching football. Yeah. Well, let's kind of like go on to this Ronnie question, the top receiver. I know we mentioned Score White in yards. Are you also going with touchdowns?
Probably.
Okay.
Probably. And receiving touchdowns, probably.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Brazel. There's just something about it.
Paul,
what?
5 minutes ago, you said you don't want to buy into all the.
I know.
I
know. I'm just gonna go. Right. I'm just going to go with touchdowns.
I was just making sure we were on the same page.
It could be Javonte Payton where he has 11 catches and 8 touchdowns.
It could be. You're not wrong. All right. I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
He is always in the end zone in these highlights, which, again, I don't know if that makes me feel better or worse, but he's always.
Are we sure the highlights are real, or is it this Colorado'd?
Throwing darts.
Yeah. Who knows? Camera's playing tricks on us.
I actually think it is because, they're making me think that these DBs are just have incredible ball skills and getting all these picks. And I'm like,
it is their job as a social media team to create hype.
Yeah, sure.
So don't forget.
But it's like that's the only thing I have to go off of, and I'm like, Jacoby Thomas is getting one. You got Boo Carter. You got Jermod McCoy. I'm like, are we just gonna be
ball hawks, baby?
Yeah.
See ball, go get ball.
I don't know if I like it. Don't set me up for failure.
I don't think you should like or dislike it.
I think if it's not true, I think we go after the social media team for false advertisement.
We are submitting a lawsuit on behalf of all fans.
Yeah.
Class
This is your fault. I shouldn't be this depressed, but I am because of you.
It would be funny if 1 year a social media team just released practice film, the all 22, and was just like, practice today. Just one play.
God.
Maybe from like inside zone.
There'd be some
period.
Like, random podcast like breaking down the film of the all 22. It's like 4-string guys in. He's like, look at this guy. Look how good he breaks down on this inside zone and makes a tackle for.
Now they aren't full contact. He is just.
Yeah,
he's fitting.
Yeah,
but he fit really good right there.
Throw the hands.
He fit good.
Yeah,
he got the hips to the ball carrier. And that's important. That's how you make the tackle.
Mm-hmm.
It's all in the hips, baby.
Yeah. Red jerseys everywhere.
Are we going to see those skull caps in the NFL and college football this year?
Can people wear them?
In the NFL, they can. I don't know about college football.
Surely not.
Why don't they just? It's the helmets are getting so big. You know those big hats. It's gonna be that.
Yeah.
People aren't gonna be able to run because
Yeah.
their head is so heavy.
Yeah, just like bobbleheads out there. Yeah,
Why don't you just make the helmets that size originally?
that's what I'm saying. Why are these things not like inside the helmet? If that makes it
Or
so
that,
much more
yeah.
safe. I don't understand.
But yeah, I don't know if you've seen in preseason they have they're painted or whatever they are on them to look like the helmet. That's because you can wear them in the game now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not a fan of those.
I like that in 7-on-7 they've gone to wearing the rugby caps.
Oh yeah.
I think that says that this sport has gone too far.
Yeah, it's like, can we like why do we need headgear in 7-on-7? There's no.
I think they should. I think we should start wearing headgear in basketball now. That same skull cap.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Baseball always wears a helmet.
Baseball, yeah. Everywhere on the field you wear a helmet. Soccer goes to those. Every sport should just wear helmets now.
Okay, I like that. Even swimming, you never know.
They do wear caps.
Yeah, but they should have like padded caps.
Did you know there used to be a swimsuit that got banned because it allowed them to swim so much faster?
Really?
Yeah, isn't that kind of lame?
Yeah, I feel like you just have everybody use that.
Exactly.
More world records.
It's why we watch the sports.
Yeah.
So the 4x400 team, sorry to tangent, the 4x400 team set an Olympic record.
Yeah.
That's not the world record anymore?
They're different. No, it doesn't have to be.
I know that. I'm asking, the world record used to be in the 4x400, that insane time from, what Olympics was that? It held forever. So
Yeah.
I didn't know it got broken.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure when it got broken.
Also, kind of lame that they let the 16-year-old run the semifinal and then yanked him for the. I know he sucked in the semifinal, but come on. And he still gets a medal. That kind of pisses me off. Happy for the 16-year-old, but like he shouldn't. You don't get to yank him from that race and then go, well, he still gets a medal.
There was a Tennessee guy in that, correct?
In the 4x4?
I think so. Bailey?
I don't know.
I thought I saw that. Is it Tanner Bailey?
Crazy.
Does that sound correct? Maybe that doesn't sound correct.
I don't know.
His last name is Bailey.
Okay. I'll look it up. Okay, and then while we're on this, the absurdity.
Christopher Bailey.
Okay. Well, that's why we're talking about this.
He ran the leadoff leg.
Oh, he subbed in for the 16-year-old. The fact that the United States men can't win the 4x100, they haven't won it in 20 years, is patently absurd. Absurd. There is zero, and bold prediction. Here we go. I guess not even a bold prediction. That's probably not the right way to frame it. There is zero doubt in my mind that if you took the best four runners from best four sprinters, especially in the 100 meter in the world, the United States has the four best by far. Zero doubt in my mind. That's true. And
Yeah.
we can't win the 4x100 in 20 years. I want a gold medal.
Yeah, and like even if you don't, you should win silver because Jamaica is good, but they didn't even win it this year. They weren't even in the finals. You had it laid out. Easy.
But even then, with Jamaica, the four best.
Yeah,
the four best.
Well, the thing that they'd always put Bolt in at the anchor, and
that's but they haven't had Bolt in 3 Olympics.
Yeah,
2 Olympics, I guess technically. 3 back they had him.
Yeah,
in 2 Olympics they haven't had Bolt.
Mm-hmm.
This is and it doesn't even boil down to running at this point. They can't hand the football off, Landon. The easiest thing to do in the sport, they can't hand the football off. Here's my problem too. I don't know if we're cocky. I don't know what. We're exchanging all these people out. And that seems like, cool, you can do it and go win, but you can't win doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You take right now, tomorrow, Landon, whenever they land back in the United States after closing ceremonies, They say these are our forerunners for the 4x1. We don't care if there's anybody faster. I don't care that they are going to practice their exchange for 4 freaking years. And we're going to complete a race and not get DQ'd. That's my biggest take is don't get DQ'd. Give yourself a chance. You can't run if you get DQ'd.
Yeah. Yeah, or just like you should be so much faster than everybody else in the field that you don't need an absolute perfect handoff to win.
Well, that's
all
what's
you
crazy.
just need.
That's
you
what's
just need
crazy
to hand
too.
off.
If the Coleman handoff wasn't so bad,
They probably win.
they medal for sure.
Yeah.
It didn't help too that the exchange from whatever you say his name to the
Bednarik.
to the third runner. See, that sounded right. Isn't that the football
Bednarik
award?
was
He was second leg.
no, he's the fourth. He wears the like.
No, he was second leg in the final.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh.
You can check that. I'm almost positive. And then the second exchange wasn't all that clean either. So it wasn't. It didn't get disqualified though. To your point, but it put him too far back to gain any ground. It was very upset, especially after watching the women just dominate. And that's a good example too. They didn't have a ton of clean exchanges.
Yeah, they really are like that much faster than everybody did.
Right. But I mean, even then though, they didn't win the 100 meter.
Yeah,
she got Shikari got spanked in the 100 meter. It made me very angry. She also looked really good in the 4x1.
She did.
She looked incredible. But yeah, have you figured it out? Was it him?
I can't find just the team. That's crazy that he wouldn't be the fourth. I think you're right, but it's crazy to me that he wasn't the fourth runner. Because he won a silver medal in the 100.
Well, that's classic United States in the 4x1. Just overthink it. Can't get anything done right. Overthink it. I mean, they were talking, you were talking about it on Wednesday. I don't know if we said it on the.
Oh, it's Fred Curley. Okay, that makes sense. Fred Curley is fast.
We were talking about it on the. Was it on the show last Thursday? I don't remember, but how Noah Lyles doesn't run the 4x1. And then they were talking like he might run the 4x1. And I'm like, why are we even considering it? He hasn't ran it. Pick your team, and then they should all be sleeping in a row with the baton together, holding them together. That's how we practice our exchanges. You exchange it every second of the day. Sick of losing it.
That's tough to watch. You can't lose to Canada. Bad.
Absolutely pisses me off.
All right, let's get into some quarterbacks real quick. We're having a little quarterback. We're passing the baton well with the quarterbacks right now, I think. Now, I don't know exactly what the whole room looks like, but I know like you have your clear-cut guy. No competition. It's Nico's team. And, from what we've been kind of predicting and our bold predictions, Nico should have a really good year. Got tons of playmakers. He's got an experienced offensive line. As long as they stay healthy, should be a really good offense. His decision-making was really good against Iowa, who I know we beat the crap out of Iowa, but it was one of the best defenses in the country up until that point. And he just kind of took what the defense gave him and moved the football down the field, scored touchdowns, and I think that's winning football. Like, I mean, he doesn't have to have all the yards and, the touchdown to interception ratio. I mean, just go down the field, score a touchdown however you can, and win football games. The stats will come. Win football games. Score.
Well, hand the football off well.
Yeah,
Be better than the U.S. team.
Yeah, that too.
No, I mean, we talked about it a little bit in the bold prediction part. I think Nico is at least somewhat as advertised. Obviously, we won't know until we see a full season because of all the hype that's been around him. But I don't think there's any denying the intangibles he has. The guy can throw the football. The guy can move, not just in the pocket, but out of the pocket. He seems to be really, really cool and calm. I hope there was this thing with Joe that, and he actually did this in the preseason game where he just seems almost too composed in the pocket. Like that he doesn't know how much time he has. He just knows he has time.
Mm-hmm.
Nico doesn't seem to have that factor. He seems to feet be moving, head be moving, eyes be moving, and then he moves when he needs to. Joe always seemed he knew how athletic he was. I think zero denying that.
Yeah, I think there was also times where he was gonna stay in the pocket until somebody got open or he was getting sacked. There was no kind of in between at times with Joe. And like I had somebody say today that JG in this offense would be better than Joe Milton in this offense, would put up better numbers.
Who said that?
A guy on Twitter told me that.
Shame him. We got to find this guy.
And I told him, I was like,
fat, ugly moron.
My tweet was like, there is no way you actually believe that. There's no way.
This is. I think I threw the sign away. I mean, I think we were done with that. How stupid are? I'm sorry. You're not a Vol fan. You're not a Vol fan. You didn't suffer with us. That is so patently absurd. So patently, it is beyond stupid to say that.
Yeah.
You know how many good football games the dude played, period, at Tennessee? One against Auburn, and it was a lot of fun. I'll give you that. But he played one good football game for Tennessee, and not really good. He just knew which receiver to throw it up to.
Well, and that's the thing. 2021 was his, or 2019 was his best year. He had 2,100 yards. He has three of his wide receivers are in the NFL currently starting, or not. I don't think Marquez Callaway is starting, but Juwan Jennings and Josh Palmer are starting for teams out in California right now.
Let me go ahead and just put this out there. A lot of people go, I think he'd be better in this offense. There's no denying Josh Heupel can develop quarterbacks. I think he would crumble in this offense. Crumble. He can't make good decisions. It's an RPO-based offense. He can't do it.
Quick. You have to be quick in making a decision. He came from they huddled and did the play. There's no like checking plays, except he checked one play, and that was an utterly disaster. So there you go. That's all the evidence you need. He cannot change a play.
If you've had that thought process, just go kick yourself in the nuts over and over and over again. They're equally as dumb. I mean, what have you been watching?
Yeah.
And then people want to go, oh, well, he's had a good career. He made an NFL roster. He was on it for a minute. Now look at him. He's in the XFL. He's in the XFL throwing for 90 yards a game.
Yeah.
Joe Milton, if we want to use that logic, might be the starter for the New England Patriots week 1. If we want to use that logic.
Mm-hmm.
And people going, well, he would have been better in this system, blah, blah, blah. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. You're an idiot if you think that.
Yeah. And I mean, JG had all the, I mean, besides Dobbs, I mean, there wasn't Tennessee didn't have very many quarterbacks around that time to, he could have been something. I think one thing that hurts Joe is because he wasn't Hendon Hooker the next year.
Right.
And there was a lot of hype going into that season, but he didn't lose to Georgia State.
Georgia State?
He didn't lose to a BYU.
More Paulies.
At home.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear that JG would be better than Joe in this offense, because that, number one, is not true. And as good as Josh Heupel is at developing quarterbacks, he's not God.
I just don't know how any Vol fan can walk. We had 3 years of it. Wasn't like we had a year of JG and we're left with going what could have been. We had 3 years of it. There's no mistaking what we saw.
We had 4 years, right?
Well, he didn't play his freshman year. He was behind Josh Dobbs.
Right, 17, 18, 19, and 20.
You're right, 4 years. We had 4 years of it. 20 was even more patently absurd. I mean,
yeah, you watch that Kentucky game and you think, he's probably better than Joe. I mean, go watch that game again.
There are very few throws he made. And they happen every once in a while. I don't think there's any denying he had some talent. But there were very few throws that he made that I thought, wow, he looks like a really good quarterback.
Yeah.
But hey, he's on an XFL roster.
Mm-hmm.
Good Lord.
Well, then there was like a drop off from Hooker to Joe, and we're kind of getting back to the talking about quarterbacks. I know we kind of went off there a little bit, but there it just wasn't as explosive. And you brought up a great point, earlier in the show is like drops hurt Joe a lot in the statistic category. I mean, I go right to that Virginia game. Ramel Keaton, that's a 65-yard touchdown that he should have caught, and it was dropped. I mean, he probably had 200 yards taken away from him because of drop passes.
Yeah. Yep.
So I mean that hurts quite a bit for a quarterback that, I mean, won all the games besides Florida that he should have, and lost the ones that he should have. I mean, it was okay. It wasn't great by any means, but I mean, I would take Joe 1,000 times in those 4 years over JG, if we're being honest. And then you hope this year where Nico finally he's taken over. And I think his, what we saw in that bowl game, and it's kind of the same sample size a little bit where, we're all in on Joe because of that bowl game. And he was really good in that game.
Yep.
And then, Nico comes in, has the big bowl game against Iowa, number 1 recruit in the country. But I just think there's a little bit more to it. Like it just feels like he was kind of made for this offense, the quick twitch, the athletic ability, the arm strength. He was handpicked to play in this offense.
Yeah, I mean, he was the one big get everybody wanted to – Josh Heupel and his staff wanted to get. And I think not only does he seem to be the talent that everybody thought he was, but he seems to kind of have the locker room on his side, whether that's traditional quarterback leadership, but everyone really seemed to love him last year. And you heard a lot of rumblings around where he's good.
Mm-hmm.
We can't wait. He's really good. So he does seem to have that to him as well. And I think mixed with the veterans he's got around him, both of the wide receiver group, but also in the offensive line, I think he's poised to have a really, really strong year. I think he's also got a good group of dudes behind him to back him up and gas him more. And then you obviously have Jake Merklinker, which you don't know a ton about, but he's obviously really highly touted as well. So I think there's a good room there.
Yeah, I agree. There's definitely some talent behind him. I think it's kind of like everybody else in the country. Like you have your clear-cut starter, and then after that, you probably have a young, talented quarterback that you don't necessarily want to throw in there, but if there is an injury, you could do that. But I think it definitely hurts. I don't want to say your season's over, but your chances of winning dwindle down. And I just think that's with the transfer portal. You're not stacking guys at quarterback. You're just not as much as you probably want to. I mean, I don't think you'll ever have a situation where it's Hendon Hooker and Joe Milton are veteran guys in your locker room. That just doesn't happen anymore.
Right.
So I know there's kind of a lack of depth, but I think it's kind of everywhere. If you lose your starter, I think there's a huge drop off in talent and just experience as well.
Sure. I like the quarterback room though as a whole, but obviously it helps to have Nico leading the pack.
Yeah,
makes you feel a lot better. But also play Gaston. Why not? It'd be fun.
Yeah, sure.
Start Gaston. Gaston Moore, QB1. Gaston.
When I think as soon as Chattanooga games like that, I mean, Joe Milton was playing a lot of games last year, and Hennon probably did too, where they're in way too long.
Right.
I think this is now with Hennon, you had Joe behind him, so if you're whatever, you probably shouldn't have him out there as long as you did, but you at least had a quality backup. I think now it's just in case something does happen, I think it's good to get Merklinger and Gaston Moore, whoever that backup is, or whoever plan it would be to. If there was a long period of time, I assume it would probably be Jake Merklinger, right?
That comes in late in games, that you're saying?
I mean, maybe it's not.
Is that what you were saying?
Yeah.
I think it probably has to be.
Yeah. I think that's a perfect opportunity to get him some work in games like Chattanooga. And
that's no knock on Gaston.
And that young offensive line, too. I know we're talking about quarterbacks, but that's a perfect way to get kind of those guys involved because next year, all that offensive line talent is, besides whoever your starter at left guard is and Lance Hurd, they're all gone.
Right. No, I think it has no knock on Gaston, but you're out of here after this year. Maybe in the first, I don't know, like Chattanooga, maybe you run Gaston, games like that. But later in the season, when it looks like you're not, because I got to think if Nico went down right now, it's Gaston for all intents and purposes. So maybe early on just to get him run with some guys. But once you get into the season, if you're playing, trying to think who's that later game in the year. Well, is he UTSA?
I can look at that schedule.
But anyways, if it's late in the year, I think
Is it UTEP?
UTEP. That's it. You go with a guy like Jake Merklinker. But yeah, I'm interested. I mean, obviously it's still fall camp. Maybe they come out and they think Jake Merklinker is the guy over Gaston Moore at second string, that he's the guy if they go down, if Nico goes down. So maybe it's just him right out of the gate. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a good room. I think it should, with all the weapons kind of you have, should look more like the 2022 offense. I think number one, you got to get better in the middle of the field. There just wasn't that explosiveness in the middle of the field, so it didn't open anything up. You want to kind of keep those safeties, on the hashes and away from the sidelines so you can throw deep balls. You got to open up that middle of the field and utilize that area.
Right.
And just didn't do a lot. And another thing that kind of hurt Joe a little bit was you didn't have Jalen Hyde anymore. And you didn't have Cedric Tillman. And you lost Brew McCoy.
Yep.
Against Akron. So all you had was Squirrel that you threw in that bowl game, and you had Brew McCoy, and then you lost him, and it was Ramel Keaton, who didn't have a good year. And then you just kind of Dante Thornton wasn't fantastic last year until the end of the year when he got hurt. And so I think that kind of put some strain on the offense of well, what do we do? And I'm sure teams benefited from that going against that Tennessee offense. we can put a lockdown corner on whoever is over there on the outside because it's not a guy that you want to utilize a whole lot in the offense. Let's shade over a little bit to Squirrel White and make sure he doesn't do a whole lot.
Yeah, no, it makes it a lot easier when you don't have just a room of wide receivers, which, going back to your point, I think you do have this year.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
I think there'll be some defenses that really struggle with Tennessee.
Yeah.
And I think there's some good ones that may struggle.
And I'm liking Ethan Davis more and more. I think,
those highlights.
Oh yeah, the highlights number one. But we kind of joked about it a little bit, wearing the number 0. I don't think you wear number 0 if you're not good at catching the football, right?
No, yeah, for sure.
Like, I mean, no offense to McAllen Castles, he was really good. I think he could have probably used a lower number than 34, if we're being honest.
Right.
How good of a year he had, but you didn't know. But I think this year they kind of know who their guy is, and that's Ethan Davis. And I'm interested to kind of see how they utilize all the tight ends, because we've heard nothing but good things about all 3 of those guys. So, but yeah, throw it to Ethan Davis, because that's going to make me look real smart.
Do it.
And I think you have a running back too in Dylan Sampson that you can also utilize in the passing game.
Yeah,
It's
no,
another
he's
kind of added weapon for.
Well, I mean, that's what I think. Not that they were not as good, but I mean, Jalen Wright and Jabari Small weren't passing game specialists by any means.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Wright got better at it. Jabari Small was decent, but just that wasn't their forte. I think you got 3 guys that will be really solid. Really, they'll benefit you in the passing game, where I don't know if you've had that depth that would the past few years. Yeah,
because Cam Seldon, he was a guy that it was kind of up in the air if he was going to play running back or receiver in this offense. So, I mean, I haven't really seen him catch the football very much, but I got to think if that was up in the air, then you have to have some sort of ball skills and be able to be utilized in the passing game some. So,
yep.
And you have that quarterback right there in front of Nico and Cooper Mays. That's pretty good too.
Definitely, and we know Deshaun Bishop is. He's Booby Miles. He can do it all. He can run it. He can throw it. He can kick it. Just get him the football.
Yeah.
I guess I should mention he can catch it since we're talking about receiving. But he can also do those things.
How much do you think they run Nico this year?
Out of read option stuff, quarterback design runs, I don't know how much, but I mean, I think he'll run the ball plenty.
Yeah, just like if it breaks down, he's able to
but I don't know how much design quarterback runs you'll see.
Yeah, probably not like Hendon. Do you think that was just a benefit of having Joe, or do you think it was just
Hendon? I mean, I think they'll
probably be part of his game.
I think there'll be plenty of design. I think Hendon had plenty of design runs, and I think you'll see similar stuff with Nico. I mean, a lot of Hendon's were because you had to, or because that's what the defense gave you.
Yeah, but
his most famous runs were breakdowns in the passing game.
Yeah, they did love they love to do that QB draw where he, everybody ran goes, he stood back there for a second, and then you saw the guard or one of the guards pull and ran behind him.
I think that will always be a staple of Josh Heupel's second and short, third and long.
Yeah,
playbooks. Like I think that's a call that's going to stick.
It looks good when it opens up. It looks beautiful.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a fun one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like this group. Again, when you have a really good starting quarterback, I think you have to like the room as a whole. I think there's quality behind him. I don't know how much quality, but I don't think you lose every game because if Nico goes down, and let's knock on wood that he doesn't, because that would be a huge loss. But maybe like you could have, he goes out for a quarter or a couple drives, and I think you have guys that can go in there and at least move the football.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Let's get back to throwing bombs, though. That's
please.
That's fun. I don't really have anything else for quarterbacks.
Nope.
Let's just keep this offense rolling, and let's just keep getting all these 5-star quarterbacks in the boat. That's also fun.
Yeah, please. I guess, yeah, I mean, you got a while to even start thinking about 2027, but,
Yeah, start building those.
Actually, let's just get that tomorrow. Can we get 2027? Lane Kiffin offered like a 14-year-old one time.
Yeah, I wonder where that kid's at.
It was someone's son. Someone well-known. I can't remember now off the top of my head, but it was sounds like it was a really dumb thing. Like it was just, we're going to do this so it's talked about.
Baby Gronk.
Well, I don't know if you saw that, and he committed to Penn State yesterday.
Oh, okay.
And then committed to Michigan today.
Good for him.
Yeah.
He's
Tomorrow
right.
he's going to commit somewhere else.
He's letting for 2035, he's letting everybody kind of have that number one recruiting class for a little bit for that year. So props to them.
Has a recruiting service come out and rated him yet?
I don't think so.
Oh, they should.
Just hurt his feelings.
Yes.
You have a good friend to tell us about, correct?
I do. Grade A Grounds. You guys know Grade A Grounds, and if you don't, you should. You love Grade A Grounds, and if you don't, you will. Grade A Grounds. It's a local coffee roasting company based out of Kingsport, Tennessee, owned and operated by two educators. Educators, they love their coffee. So they thought, why not make some great coffee? And they've done that. They also love their community and give back to the community by donating 5% of all sales to a nonprofit organization called Coalition for Kids. That 5% of those sales goes to keeping a classroom at Coalition for Kids stocked with the necessary supplies needed for students. You also see on their bags of coffee, the artwork is done by students in those classrooms. It's a great way to display their artistic talents. Make sure you guys go check out Grade A Grounds at gradeagrounds.com. They've also got the gold medal blend right now in support of the Special Olympics of Greater Knoxville. That bag will be running through the start of our golf tournament, September 28th. You can also buy bags of it at the golf tournament. Go get that today. You can get 10% off by using promo code GOVOLS, capital G, capital V, GOVOLS. And while you're heading on over to check out the gold medal blend, make sure you also sign. You can get your kid, or if you're a teacher as well, kids in your classroom or Sunday school classroom, to participate in the Volsicle artwork. Your child's artwork can be put on display. The Volsicle, which is dropping here soon as football season gets fired up. That Volsicle is coming out. Make sure you get in on that action. Go check them out today. GradeAGrounds.com. Promo code GOVOLS. Shout out to Grade A Grounds.
Shout out. Also, go Vols. Also, new sponsor alert.
Oh, yeah.
Autograph. The beautiful app, Autograph. It's basically all of what you already do. You listen to the breakdowns, podcasts, articles. They kind of have all that in one app, so you're not having to go to different apps to get everything. Everything will be posted on this app. You also get rewarded to participate on this app. So read articles, you'll get rewards. You can cash those in for tickets and other things that they have posted on their site, but be a part of your favorite team's community. And you can post pictures and videos of you at the events. And it's just trying to bring that fandom into one place is what they're trying to do. So go to Autograph, check them out. Also, all of our stuff will be on there, all of our podcasts, news and notes, all that other stuff. So go on there, check us out, and you can listen straight from that app. Yeah, go check out Autograph.
Hey, one thing I just noticed, Nico's rocking one of those like forearm sweatbands, but it's like a thin one. What's the point?
Just a little dab, maybe. I don't know.
Gotcha.
You don't want to have to keep readjusting the towel, so you go a little dab on the sweatband there.
Similar
also,
to the ones that
maybe doesn't go all the way to. Is it on his throwing hand?
It's on the left hand. No.
Okay.
No, it's just like right here. It looks like either Eric Ainge or Olivier wore for like 4 games.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's only got one though on the left arm. It looks very like old school quarterback.
Okay. I like
which
that.
is interesting. Speaking of that, while I'm looking at the pictures, not old school quarterback, just while I'm looking at the pictures, I hate the trend of wearing whatever. They're not pants. Whatever they wear in practice, I think it looks so dumb. They're wearing
like the compression shorts, basically.
So my assumption, from what I can tell, is it looks like they're wearing a girdle that is designed to look like pants. Just wear shorts.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Similar to the trend that soccer players started and now football players and basketball players where they roll their pants up inside their underwear. What are we – especially when you do it with white pants because it looks like you're wearing a diaper.
Mm-hmm.
Stop. You look dumb.
Yeah. So in college, we always had to wear a girdle. And like when we were doing like walkthroughs and stuff, we had to wear a girdle and shorts. But we wore shorts. I mean, your boy ain't just wearing a girdle.
Is that not what it looks like, though?
Yeah, I mean, it really does. And I think
it's because like some of them look rolled up. Some of them look like their pants rolled up, but a lot of them don't. They look like they're
because they have like almost like a knee pad at the bottom, right?
No. Some of them do.
Okay,
and that's the ones that look like pants. But a lot of them, they don't look cut because it looks like where the pants are cuffed at the end, but they're down midway down the thigh. They're wearing 5-inch inseam football pants. I don't know what's happening. Yeah. I don't like the trend. I think it looks really weird. I can't remember who I commented back to. Someone we were talking about football and someone they were making a gay joke at someone else as we were talking about football. And I was like, we watch men run around in tights all the time. Oh, it was about the Lululemon. They're like, I don't want to see men run around in tights. I was like, we watch it every Saturday.
Yeah.
And then now they're wearing even shorter tights. And I'm with that guy now. I changed my mind. It's making me uncomfortable. Yeah. I don't like the trend. I'm not old man yells at clouds.
I mean, you kind of spend all year just waiting to get to see men run around in tights.
Yep. The pants are getting smaller, but the helmets are getting bigger.
Yeah, exactly. They got to make up for it somewhere, I guess.
They need to bring they're taking away clothing. I mean, guys don't even wear cups anymore in any sports, pretty much. We need football players in cups again. That's what we need.
Yeah.
Add padding.
I'm in on that.
Do you think there was ever a time that maybe like running backs wore cups in football?
I don't know.
Just feel like it was such a retro thing. I don't know how you really run well.
I mean, like in middle school, like I was always told I need to wear one, but I mean, just one pinch and you'll never wear one again.
I don't know how anybody does, but
yeah,
I guess if you're a catcher, sure.
Yeah,
it's a risk reward factor to that one.
Sure.
But
yeah, I used to put one in when I pitched because I had a bad incident when I was pitching in a state tournament when I was younger. Got left one hanging.
Sounds like bad reaction time though. I mean,
left one hanging and they caught mine hanging. If you know,
square it up. I mean, almost like you invited it in.
I mean, I was just over the top, just ready, and could not react fast enough. Luckily, I did have a cup on. Sounded like a gunshot, but I had a cup on.
I think that would hurt. Almost as bad. Like, so bad that you're asking, why did I even wear a cup kind of deal?
Yeah, I had a nice little ring around.
Yeah.
A little ring around the rosy.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. All right. Well, that's cup talk.
Yeah. I said little ring, too. That's
nice.
Whatever.
Yeah, just selling your soul right there and just leaving it all out.
I was young, okay?
We've had a lot of Donald Trump incidental impersonations. I was young. I did one when I was talking about JG. I was like, I sound a lot like Donald Trump right now, and I'm not meaning to. There's a lot of the, these hand motions, this stuff.
Okay.
I'd love to get Donald Trump's thoughts on JG as the quarterback of the Volunteers. He'd have some good nickname for him.
Yeah, he'd be like, who?
Where are we at?
Vols in the preseason. couple of Vols showing out in the preseason. We don't have to go very long with this, but
We've alluded to a lot of it, thankfully.
yeah, Joe Milton had a good first outing for the Patriots through that dart. Shout out to my Panthers for being nowhere in the vicinity, but whatever. I guess if they're going to give a touchdown, if it's Joe Milton, I guess that makes me feel a little better. Not really, but it does. Hendon Hooker looked good, ran over somebody. Then he gets concussed. I'm like, dude, can't catch a break. But, well, I guess he's in concussion protocol. I don't know if it's official if he had a concussion, but didn't go back in the game. And, it stinks because it's almost been like 2 years since he's played in a real game. And, first game he gets hurt. So hopefully he's back and all is well. But, yeah, 2 guys look good. Jalen Wright looked really good. I think he had 10 rushes, 55 yards, a touchdown. I'm trying to think of who else. Jalen McCullough had a big tackle today for the Rams. Jalen Reeves-Maben looked good. But, yeah, ball's kind of sprinkled around the preseason right now. So that's the only thing I really care about when it comes to preseason football.
Yeah. I did see, this isn't Vols in the preseason, but yeah, I'm with you in terms of what I care about. I did see, though, that the New Orleans Saints have a kicker from Ireland who's never played a football game, but hit a game winner today.
Oh, wow. Okay.
First game ever, game winner. Didn't look very long, but still, I guess, got to be
First game
cold-blooded.
ever. Doesn't count.
Yeah. And that one is not going to go in the record books.
Yeah. Somebody did text me earlier. It was a coworker. And he sent like Christian Moore's stats and professional stats already. And he said this is another story of development in college for Tony and why you come to Tennessee. Dude has every 6th at bat so far, he has a home run. Every 6 at bats. That's insane. He has 35 at bats, 6 home runs. He's batting .543 with 13 RBIs.
Yeah.
He has no stolen bases because he keeps hitting all these home runs.
It's pretty insane.
Incredible. Call him up.
Yeah, why have we not yet?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. We talked about it. You have to.
I think the Trash Pandas are just milking all the money they can get from the Tennessee fans going down to Huntsville for a few weeks, and then they'll probably just promote them to AAA. In Salt Lake City, right? We learned that?
Yeah. Didn't we look that up? That
Yeah.
sounds right.
Some SEC superlatives. So I saw some earlier, and it was like, so we can kind of go down the line, and it's based off teams, or we can go players too. Let's go underrated team in the SEC.
I feel like there's a lot of overrated teams in the SEC.
Agreed.
Underrated. See, I feel like the only one that like kind of pops in mind that hasn't gotten a ton of recognition this year, but I guess could be pretty solid, that I think is probably in that. I talked about this yesterday. I don't know if you were standing around when Joel was like, where do we finish? And I was like, well, it's going to be tough because it's kind of like Georgia and Alabama, maybe Texas, I'll put in that top group, and then everyone else behind them is really close.
Mm-hmm.
But one team that's like floating near the bottom is like Mississippi State, but I feel like they could be decently competitive. They won't finish top 5, but I don't think they'll finish at the bottom.
Yeah. I think mine is, and maybe they are just, I think they're underrated based off of Texas joining the SEC, and that's kind of Oklahoma for me. And I don't even know if I can call them underrated. They might be fairly rated, but they're not talked about in the same light as Texas.
Right.
And maybe that's fair, but I just think like they did beat them last year. So
Yeah. I feel like where are they predicted to finish?
it's kind of in that middle too.
Yeah.
I just think they could be like as good as probably Texas, but I think they're probably in that middle too. They're just not getting talked about a whole lot because Texas gets all the recognition right now for them joining the SEC.
Right.
What about worst team?
Easy. It's Vanderbilt. Easy. I mean, there's zero doubt in my mind.
Yeah, I definitely think it's Vanderbilt. I think Mississippi State could probably also be there. I know you just said they're probably underrated.
Are they going to be that bad? That's my question.
Yeah.
Like, I think Arkansas is going to be bad, and they're down there on that list.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Arkansas does have. I don't know if you've played Arkansas in a game on NCAA, and I know this doesn't have anything to do with actual, but like their quarterback kind of worries me a little bit.
Okay. I don't think South Carolina will be very good this year. Florida is going to struggle to win games, and then they're going to fall apart at some point. I don't know. I mean, Texas A&M should be really talented, so I guess just how good is Mike Elko?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What about over?
Okay, I guess Missouri.
Okay. I like
And then
that.
I think Auburn's predicted to finish bottom half, but I think they've probably gotten too much love. But I think most people – so I don't know if it's fair to call them overrated because I think most people know how they're going to be.
Yeah. I think my most overrated it's got to be Ole Miss or LSU.
That's fair.
Now, I think Ole Miss is going to be good. I don't know how LSU is going to look. They couldn't stop anybody last year, and they lose a Heisman winning quarterback and a ton of those receivers. I don't see them being as good as what people think. And I think Ole Miss is kind of like that every year.
Yeah, that's fair.
But Missouri's a good one. I like that one.
I think Missouri's my most overrated, personally.
Yeah. What about Coach of the Year?
It's probably it's probably gonna be someone new because they're probably gonna perform better than they quote unquote should. So it's probably gonna be depending on how A&M does Elko. I would say DeBoer, though, is probably my guess.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Depending on, I mean, Oklahoma.
Venables.
It could be him too. I think it'll be someone new, though. Someone that's new to the SEC.
Okay. Yeah, I think Texas is kind of overrated to me, but I could see if they're not Sark winning it.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have talent that they're gonna be at the top of the league, though.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll beat Georgia, but I think they'll be at the top of the league. They're one of the more talented teams, unfortunately. They do lose a little bit, though.
Yeah. I don't really think I have very many. Who do you think is who's the most underrated quarterback?
Oh, wow. Good question. I feel like all the good quarterbacks get a lot of love, so I don't know. Yeah.
Is it Nico?
I don't think he can be called underrated.
Okay.
I think he gets too much love. I mean, based on last year, and it's really just Tennessee. It's really what he did to Tennessee. It's Graham Mertz.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one.
He gets almost zero love, but he's done well in the SEC.
But he's going to have one bad game, and they're going to be calling for that 5-star freshman.
For sure. He's not great.
Yeah,
but
Could it be Lenore Sellers at South Carolina? Maybe.
I just think they're going to struggle this year, man.
I think so too. But he
It could be, sure.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Most important. Got to some questions already. Any most important?
Well, combination of most important and fail. Did you see the Australian breakdancer that redeemed for Raygun?
Yeah.
So you saw Raygun, right?
No.
The terrible one?
Yeah.
Did you see the redemption today?
Was it good?
There was one that was incredible, and it's like, all right, Australia's back officially.
Okay.
Aussies can breakdance. We're good. It was, I don't know what good breakdancing is, but it seemed better. Seemed to get the crowd. I think that's what breakdancing is. Does it get the crowd going? Because this one got the crowd going.
Okay.
Also, did you see them come out in defense of Raygun? Is that the name? Raygun? Am I getting that right?
That sounds right to me.
It's a pretty sick name to be so bad at breakdancing.
Yeah.
They were like, Raygun, put on for her country. Like she came out here, and I was like, well, don't suck so much. I don't know what to tell you. I could have done what that person did. There should never be an Olympian that I watch that I go, I could do that.
Yeah, I mean, it made me think like, dude, you could probably be in the Olympics.
Right. And I think breakdancing in and of itself is a dumb Olympic sport. But at the same time, there are people making fun of it that also love watching the floor mat routines for gymnastics. And I'm thinking that's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, how do you grade it? The same way you grade that. What do you mean? But yeah, I could definitely do a Raygun. In fact, I think we should do, for our next video, we should see if we could mimic her routine. We
should break dance to the Colts song.
Oh, I got the name of the song, by the way. Came through. My white pastor brother came through. It's called "This Is Our God" by and I.
That's
now.
it. Yeah.
Let's listen to it one more time because that's also most important.
This is our God.
No, well, this is our Colts.
This is our Colts. This is our team. We bleed blue. This is our Colts. Whether win or lose, we love.
I love that. The little heart.
Horseshoe, beat the Broncos. Let's show them who the real horse is. This is our team. Go Colts!
That
who he reminds
rocks
me of?
so much. That rocks.
I could see doing this. Lewis Litt from Suits.
Yes. Yep. Yep. I'm gonna get better at that so I can neigh with him. That should just be the Colts, like when they're running out, just that soundbite of the dude doing that. I mean, it's so good.
Do you think I think your brothers should at church during the service should play the real song and then in the middle just
go to that.
Yeah.
Or just drop the neigh.
Yeah. And see if people notice if there's
Agreed.
Also, it's gonna be hard because bleed blue, if we bleed orange, it's gonna be hard to match something that rhymes with orange.
He doesn't rhyme with blue in there.
Oh, he doesn't?
We can listen to it again if you like.
This is our God. This is our team. We love you and blue. Yeah.
This is our Colts. This is our team. We
bleed blue.
This is our Colts. Whether win or lose.
He's shoe. He does do shoe.
For the shoe, beat the Broncos.
He says Broncos.
Let's show them who the real horse is. This is our team. Go Colts!
I can't get over show them who the real horse is. That is such a great line. I mean, that is an all-time line.
Yeah.
Show them who the real horse is. I just like that. In my mind, there's going to be a pregame speech at some point this year, whether it be the Colts or the Broncos. I don't know. And the coach is going to look at him and he's going to go, now let's go show him who the real horse is.
In a straight face.
And that fires me up so much.
Yeah.
I love that guy. And I know people think I'm laughing because I love it so much. I genuinely, that's my favorite thing I've seen this football season so far. And it'll be tough to top it.
It will.
And we're in preseason week 1. This football season's going to rock. That's all I know after that one. Or it's all downhill from there.
Yeah, I was about to say, where do you go from there? Also, kind of like football season rocks, dudes rock, and Seattle Mariners starting pitcher Logan Gilbert threw 7 shutout innings and then headed straight to the clubhouse and immediately started playing college football 25.
Who was that? Sorry?
Logan Gilbert, the starting pitcher for the Mariners.
Nah, that's my favorite player.
He was like, yep, 7 innings. I don't care what else happens. I did my job, and now I'm going to go play college football.
I love that. I mean, I'm not joking. That's all I do. That's kind of in the sense of what I do in real life. As soon as I get home from work, that's what I play immediately. Now that my house is a wreck right now. I regret nothing.
Urosh winning a medal?
Sure. The team would have been on the same people that think Garantano is better than Joe Milton think Urosh would have helped the team last year. Just that's all I need to say. That's it. That's all I need to say.
All right. Some any fails.
No, that's well, that one breakdancing dude. Girl.
I don't know if this is a fail or
good.
it kind of rocks. I haven't decided yet, but FIU selling the football stadium naming rights to Pitbull.
That rocks.
You think?
If you're gonna sell it to anybody, sell it to Pitbull.
So for the next 5 seasons, you're okay with just the name's Pitbull Stadium?
Yeah.
I think he has to perform like that. Has to be the third down song.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
has to be a Pitbull song.
Yeah. Meet me at the hotel room.
What are they saying? What is it? How does it start? In
Introducing
that's an ad. And featuring Neo, the song featuring Neo. That's not it. Pitbull. Is it Pitbull? Neo. Is it that? What song is that?
Is it hotel room?
I don't know.
I think it is hotel room.
It's giving it.
No,
No.
Oh, are you thinking Daddy with Pitbull and Daddy Yankee? Or not?
How does it start?
Hot.
It's not a part of the song.
Yeah, it's Hot by Daddy Yankee and Pitbull. It was Xander's song. Xander's walkout song.
Let's see how it starts. No. It's one of those like
It's hotel room.
it's one of those like Pitbull, and then whoever's featuring that's what the name of the stadium has to be.
I think it's got to be a hotel room.
Is it Mr. Worldwide?
Let's go. Let's welcome everybody to play the Pin song.
I don't think it is. I don't know what song it is now. I'm not a huge Pitbull fan. Obviously, some bangers in his lineup, but
I don't know.
ooh, started at the beginning. Or wait, hold on. Yeah, that's what it's gotta be. I thought it was at the very beginning. Yeah, that's it.
Give me everything.
It is Give Me Everything Tonight. Don't doubt me. Don't doubt the intuition. I doubted myself, but or it should just be called Worldwide Stadium.
Oh yeah,
Mr. Worldwide.
I tweeted when they did it. I was
Pitbull's
like,
underrated.
Yeah,
Like he does get respect. Don't get me wrong, but he deserves more.
oh, well, he gets the people going.
Yeah, exactly. He would be an all-time break dancer because of that.
Yeah, I was like, props to Florida International for finally going worldwide. Didn't get a lot of likes, but I was like, I thought that was pretty solid.
Yeah, agreed. I don't have any more fails. I don't know if I even said one, but
I had the men's 4x100 just.
oh yeah, don't get me started again. I could go on.
I did have this moron.
Okay.
It's Pat. I think he's a Georgia fan. He said, "Yeah, y'all schedule is cakewalk. To be honest, play 2 big dogs and then nothing but Charmin. Play 2 big dogs. Name anybody else who has to play Georgia and Alabama.
Right.
I mean, I think Auburn. That's probably it. There might be
Alabama
a
has to play
good one.
Georgia and Texas this year. That's the closest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I mean that's
wanna
just.
hear
It's
that.
also what the 7th toughest schedule in the country, I think.
Yeah.
But sure,
Yeah. Charmin. Okay.
that guy sucks. That dude is a troll that doesn't.
He does.
I don't know if he knows he's a troll.
He
And
has to know
that
himself.
has to hurt to not know you're a troll.
Yeah. All right. Guys, go check out Roback, roback.com. Use promo code More Important Issues for 20% off your first purchase. They got the state polos back in
The
stock.
blue. I might have to pick up the blue.
The blue looks good.
Blue looks good.
Yeah. So, yeah, go check that out. Again, use promo code More Important Issues for 20% off your first purchase. And we thank y'all. Anything else?
That's it.
Guys, have a great week. Great Monday. We'll be back maybe sometime this week. We'll figure it out.
Sure.
But we always appreciate you guys. Love y'all. We're bringing the boat in, and we out.